Let's create this eye enhance action in Photoshop. A before and after. And when working on the eyes, you only want to make minor adjustments, otherwise it can look really fake. So in the Actions panel, create a new action, name that action. I've called mine Eye Enhance 2 and hit record. The first step is to create a new folder. Name that folder. I've called mine Eye Enhance 2. And the first layer is just a blank new layer with the blending mode changed to soft light. Add a mask and name that layer Add light to iris. And with a white brush, this is where we are going to lighten the iris. The next step is a stamp visible layer, and to do that is Shift Alt Command E, and then go into the little hamburger on the Actions panel and select Insert Menu Item. Select Filter, High Pass Filter, and select OK in that dialog box. That filter will come up later as an adjustment, and you can select it to whatever you want it to be. Now Alt Command and hit the mask, and that will invert that layer and rename this layer Eye Pop. And change the blending mode to soft light. Go down to the bottom, and now we're going to add another new group and rename that Clean Eye Whites. Add a new layer, and that one is adjustment layer, and that is a channel mixer layer. Make sure you tick monochrome. Reds, I keep in around the 60s. Green 67, and blue 56 or 57. Now you need to change that blending mode to screen, and don't be too frightened if your image looks like this. Another adjustment layer, which is a hue saturation adjustment layer, and in the reds, change it to 19 for hue, saturation is 55, and lightness is 50. The next step is to select the group above, and to do this is Alt and open bracket key, add an inverted mask again, which is Alt and hit the mask. The next step is to select the brush, and I recommend that you've already created a brush already and saved it in your tool presets. Mine is at a 10% flow and a white brush. Now make sure that you actually also select the brush that you have created as well. Stop recording the action. I've deleted it, and now it's time to press play and test the action. And as you can see, the high pass filter dialog box pops up and you can make adjustments. I use it at a point where I can start to see the color coming through in the preview. Now with the white brush, which is already selected for you because you recorded that in your action, start brushing over the whites within the eye. Now this is quite intense. I've already edited the eyes and removed the veins, and the brush is at a 10% flow. You could probably make the flow of the brush around 2 to 3%, and now I've adjusted the opacity of that layer. This is why I created this action, because the intensity can be totally adjusted. Now on the eye pop layer, select the mask and with your brush over the eyelashes and anywhere that you want to make it look a little bit sharper. Sometimes I use this on the eye makeup as well and around the top of the lips. You don't want to go overboard with this process, but if you do, you can always adjust the opacity. Now the top tip here is to create that brush before you start recording the action, so you can select it whilst recording the action, and when you play it, it's already selected for you. This saves so much time. Now to add light to the iris, on the new layer, not on the mask, brush around the iris on the opposite side to where you can see the light coming into the eye. Otherwise it can make it look too fake. Zoom out, and if you feel like you've gone overboard, then just change the opacity of each layer or the overall action. Make sure you keep the shadows in the white so it doesn't make the eye look too flat. The beauty of this action is that the intensity can be totally adjusted for each image. The eye pop layer can also be used to sharpen other areas of the image, such as the top and bottom of the lips. Don't forget to tag and share edits that you have used this action on.